Good morning. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith here at the National Weather Service in Pocatello with another edition of your weather hazard briefing, this for Friday, May 3rd. There is good news. See, we even use this cover image with the sun and it's breaking out from behind the clouds. Like we promise, I know it's raining and snowing for some of you this morning as you wake up, but there is good news in the short-term part of the forecast. Let's dig into it right now. We promise it's coming. There's good news. Okay. Key points here, looking over the next 5 days. First, yes, bad news. There is a band of some rain and snow that is sinking south this morning, stretching from the Arco and Mud Lake Desert region to the Snake Plain corridor and then further east to the Wyoming border. Depends on where you're located as to whether this is manifesting as rain or snow, as temperatures are very marginal out there. Just in general, do be alert for localized slick or slushy areas. When we get to the radar image, we'll talk about this a little bit more. This is only expected to stick around for the morning hours, however. So we'll get to the good news. We are declaring, after we wrap up this morning's activity, we are declaring a 2-day break in the unsettled, kind of dreary weather pattern that we've been locked in here for a while. So a couple notes here. First, trend in the models. We're trending drier for the rest of today after this morning precipitation band ends, particularly for most of you from 10 or 11 a.m. onward. If you're down toward the lower Snake Plain, down toward Bear Lake, maybe noon onward, we are expecting predominantly dry conditions with breaks of sunshine for the rest of today. So again, it's coming just a few hours out here. Another trend we're noting, we are trending later on the arrival of rainfall tomorrow, Saturday, with this next low pressure storm system that's moving in. Originally, some of the models were hinting at mid to late afternoon, particularly in western portions of our forecast area, but now I think everyone is going to be dry until we get to about 6 or 7 p.m. We'll start to see some shower activity into maybe the Sawtooth region, the Wood River Valley, maybe the eastern Magic Valley, but holding off until sunset or even after midnight if you get east of I-15 with that arrival on Saturday. And temperatures Saturday surging 10 or more degrees warmer than what we're seeing today. So we're going to see widespread 60s and even some low 70s, a solid taste of spring during the day on Saturday. So again, as soon as we can work this band of precipitation out of here this morning, we're setting ourselves up for a little cool today, but a dry period for the rest of today and just about all of Saturday across southeast Idaho. So some good news there. Unfortunately, there is more bad news coming. Low pressure is arriving Saturday night. That's going to kick off periods of more rain showers, more snow showers, some thunderstorms, some wind, and much colder temperatures once again. And that's going to last for Sunday, for Monday, for Tuesday, possibly Wednesday and Thursday, pretty much all of next week. We're going to be locked back into this colder than normal, unsettled weather pattern. And we will see some responses on some of our rivers as a result of that precipitation. And I'll show you one example here in just a few slides. So, breaking that all down here in the weather risk outlook. Again, right here, this is where you want to focus if you're looking for slightly better weather. We're front-loaded here today and tomorrow. This is our slightly quieter period here in the forecast. We will continue to see issues with morning temperatures at or below freezing. If you're across the Snake Plain and Eastern Magic Valley corridor, I'll show you we have alerts in effect again this morning for that. Repeat performance Saturday morning, one more morning of some risk if you have early season gardens and sensitive vegetation, so do be aware of that. Outside of that, again, some morning rain and snow showers across portions of the Snake Plain into the southern and eastern highlands, but everything wrapping up at the latest by noon or 1 o'clock. If you're down right near the Wyoming border or down toward the Bear Lake area, we'll be done. We'll have this out of here. Breezy conditions on Saturday. So it's not completely unimpactful. We're going to focus on those warm temperatures and dry conditions. That's definitely good news, but it will be noticeably breezy across the region. The South Hills region, the Raft River region, maybe even windy, maybe even approaching wind advisory criteria. So a little bit of risk down there if you are a driver of a high-profile vehicle. We're going to be back into that type of regime in that area. And we still have some evening showers mentioned here for a few of our geographic zones. But again, the trend has been to push everything later and maintain dry conditions for most of the day. Here comes the next system. Sunday, Breezy across the entire region. Rain showers, snow showers, thunderstorms, depending on where you're located. Monday, breezy across the region with a mix of rain and snow showers, maybe a thunderstorm or two. Tuesday, breezy across the region, rain and snow showers, much colder temperatures. Probably going to see very similar language used here once we add Wednesday to the forecast as we go into tomorrow morning's briefing. So we'll be back into that pattern. This is again looking like not a lot of death and destruction. We're not looking at winds, at least at this juncture. We're not looking at winds that are going to cause widespread damage. We're not looking at significant snow accumulations at lower elevation population centers. We're not looking at severe thunderstorms, at least so far. But it's going to be, again, colder, unsettled, a lot of nuisance weather running around out there. May see some morning temperatures get close to those freezing levels again as we get into the Snake Plain and Magic Valley, depending on precipitation and cloud cover. Maybe another niche concern returning there for sensitive vegetation and gardens. Watches, warnings, advisories this morning. Yeah, there's more colors here than you're used to, but it's the same concept. We have this darker shaded purple for a freeze warning across the upper Snake Plain into the Arco Desert. We have a lighter blue shading as you go down across the lower Snake Plain and the rest of the eastern Magic Valley. That is a frost advisory because temperatures are just a couple degrees warmer as you head south. So more frost conditions down here versus a little bit harder freeze conditions as you head north into the upper Snake. Also, our flood warnings continue for the Blackfoot River, basically from the reservoir downstream toward Blackfoot, and the Portneuf from near Chesterfield Reservoir down through Lava, Ingham into Pocatello. Those flood warnings will remain in effect until further notice, so no change there over our briefing yesterday morning. Satellite loop this morning, there is clouds out there because we had precipitation, so let's go right to the radar. Here's that band of rain and snow sinking southward from the Arco and Mud Lake deserts across the Snake Plain corridor, and you can see some of that activity stretching all the way over to the Wyoming border. This is a mix of rain and snow. Depends on exactly where you are. Depends on exactly what your temperatures are. We are rain here at Pocatello right now, but we have seen periods of some impressive looking snowfall on the webcams as you get up toward Idaho Falls and the Roberts area, the Yukon area, just to the north of Idaho Falls. Seeing some of that, at least reduced visibilities, even if we're not sticking very well to the roads. And then earlier, as you head into the northern end of the Teton Valley here up toward Botts and Teutonia, we actually briefly had snow covering the highway from that activity, but temperatures are very marginal. We're not looking at significant accumulations on the roadways. It's just not accumulating that efficiently with the temperatures that are in place. And again, some areas will hold with rain. So for the rest of the morning, if you are headed out, just please bear in mind you may encounter some slick spots or some slushy spots. Definitely slow down if the road looks icy or slushy. Maybe some reduced visibilities. And of course, always keep in mind the risk of hydroplaning whenever we have water on the roadways. Again, we'll continue to sync this off to the south and southeast, and we'll wrap it up here by late morning or lunchtime. Here's low temperatures this morning, very close to freezing, supporting some of those alerts that are in effect. Not getting colder than this, though, because we have a lot of precipitation and cloud cover out there, so we're not seeing really efficient radiational cooling like we do see some mornings, but certainly still want to protect those plants. High temperatures today, gaining a few degrees over yesterday, getting into the upper 40s to upper 50s, depending on your location, and of course, warmest readings down here toward the eastern Magic Valley, Twin Falls, Shoshone, Burley, possibly getting close to that 60-degree mark this afternoon. Here's high temperatures Saturday. I'm going to toggle here. Today, Saturday. Let's go back. Today, ahead to Saturday. 10 to 15 degrees warmer across southeast Idaho by Saturday afternoon. Again, it'll be breezy to windy, so we will bring that into the picture, but holding dry. There should be some sunshine running around and these beautiful springtime temperatures. Everyone, unless you're in Stanley and Island Park where you might be just a few degrees cooler, everyone getting up into that 60 to 70 degree range with some low 70s coming in here across the eastern Magic Valley and the Raft River region over toward Pocatello. So beautiful temperatures, if only for one day on Saturday. Let me back up. Saturday morning, you can see some cold temperatures at or below freezing once again, particularly for the upper half of the Snake Plain, where we may have one more morning where frost advisories or freeze warnings may be needed up across that region. Wind and wind gusts Saturday. It will be breezy. Over here on the left, we have sustained winds, and you can see across the region, we're ranging from about 20 to as high as 30 miles an hour for sustained winds. And then over here on the right, wind gusts, certainly higher than that, particularly down here across Cassia County and the Raft River region along I-84, maybe close to Burley and American Falls, where we have 35 to 45 mile per hour gusts currently in the forecast. So that's an area we'll have to watch to see if we reach advisory criteria, and certainly an area if you are driving a high-profile vehicle, an empty semi-trailer, certainly going to want to be cognizant of the strong winds down across that region in particular. Here's low temperatures on the left during the morning, high temperatures in the afternoon on the right. This is for Sunday. Colder temperatures returning across the region, particularly for those highs, as we have, again, widespread rain and snow showers back in the forecast, some continued breezy conditions. And as we step forward to Monday, more of the same. We're into that unsettled, wet weather pattern once again. Show you one hydrograph this morning. Again, there's no big changes. The Portneuf River and the Blackfoot River are the two that we're really watching closely right now because they are in flood stage. The rest of the rivers we're watching. So far, they are not in flood stage across the region, so that's good news. But what I want to show you here, again, the blue line is what the river's been doing the past few days, and the dotted line is the forecast as we go forward. Your days are across the bottom of the chart here. Right now we are in red, moderate flood stage. We may drop just a little bit here as we go over the course of the next 48 hours or so, but as we head into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the river rises once again, and this forecast is in response, even though we have cool temperatures, it's in response to that falling precipitation, that rain and snow moving in with our next system. So we're forecasting the river to peak again, at least in moderate flood stage, and this is not far below major flood stage. So probably seeing more impacts like what we've seen over the past week or two, flooding in low-lying and agricultural areas down in Ingham and Black Rock, flooding in Pocatello, places like Sacagawea Park and some of the hiking trails. Those impacts may get just a little worse here if we do have a higher peak on the river here with the next system. So do bear that in mind. And finally, want to invite everybody, if you have an interest in the weather, if you're interested in helping your community, we are looking for more volunteer weather spotters through our Skywarn Spotter program. Our very first of the season virtual online Skywarn Spotter training class is tomorrow morning. Saturday, May 4th, 10 a.m. to noon. The link is shown right here on the screen. Pause, write this down if you're interested in attending. All you need to do is go to that link and you will join the virtual room we have set up to do the training. No pre-registration required. We urge anyone who's interested, just come on in, grab the link, and you'll be able to join. And if you have anyone else who might be interested in joining our Skywarn Spotter program, please share this information with them. We have another training you can see here on a weekday evening coming up on Tuesday, June 4th. That'll be 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. But your weekend morning option, again, tomorrow morning, join us at 10 a.m. if you're interested in Skywarn training. And that's it for your hazard briefing this morning. As always, please feel free to reach out if you have questions, comments, or concerns. Everyone enjoy the almost 2-day break and those warmer temperatures Saturday. We'll see you here again tomorrow morning. Have a great day.